Hello, everyone. Welcome to Star Time. We're hanging out near Black Mesa in Oklahoma, checking out the Milky Way.
Since when?
Since right now. Look, see? This is where we are, our background and everything. I actually took that picture a couple of years ago. 3 years ago.
That's actually really neat.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to make you feel good.
If you can ever go to the Okie-Tex Star Party, by the way, I highly recommend it. It's one of the best things I ever did in my life. I mean, the Milky Way, usually a picture of the Milky Way is, deceptive, like Aurora pictures. The Milky Way looks like this at Okie-Tex, basically, after several hours. It's stunning.
That does look stunning, and I'm not even there.
I jumped because I thought I saw someone at 2 a.m. coming up behind me one night, because I saw their shadow coming up behind me.
Yeah.
But there's no lights there.
That is creepy.
It was the Milky Way. There's a light from the Milky Way.
Ooh.
So.
That's nuts, actually. I'll give you that.
Unbelievable, but not, and the park itself is really cool. It's, I don't know if it's the same Black Mesa that's in the Half-Life games or whatever, but it's cool and otherworldly seeming. So, yeah. Oh, hey, nerds! Welcome! Okay.
I'm being nice to Dave because I'm late putting on my makeup on again, and I don't have glasses on, so as far as I know, I look probably good? Maybe.
Shouts out for Jasmine and her makeup skills. I think she's looking pretty good.
I don't have makeup skills at all. I just try really hard, and then just hope it works out, right?
Okay. Good enough. Fair enough.
So now I'm using Ditching You in ColourPop Cosmetics.
I don't know what any of that means.
And I'm using it right on the lid. I've used Bad Guy on the crease for anyone paying attention.
Okay. Oh, I think my monitor's out. Anyway, I hope you're all doing good. Jasmine, as you're putting it, we don't have any sponsors this week.
ColourPop Cosmetics.
Apparently that, but offer code STARTIME 10% off for ColourPop Cosmetics. I don't think that's gonna work though.
It probably won't, because I would totally use it, because I want more.
Okay, but do you want to move into the frame at least? We can
A
all
little
hang
bit.
out with you while you do your makeup.
Okay.
Having a wonderful time here on Star Time.
Thank you.
Doing makeup. Making ourselves look like the stars.
Yeah.
But while you put on the makeup, can I entertain you with some space news by chance?
Please do.
Okay. Alright. Also, I just want to make sure my monitor is not working.
Oh.
The rules.
That's okay.
There we go.
Also, I'm doing this episode without a drink in my hand, so...
It's big deal. Okay, so let us get into some space news real quick, and then we'll do a little bit of planetarium stargazing.
Fancy.
All right. So, let me see here. Oh, we're a little here. Let's make ourselves a little bigger. There we go. Check out, we got special effects now.
Ooh.
Should I light up the orb? We're just like tossing this orb around. It makes me feel so comfortable.
That's mine. You got that for my birthday. Don't ruin
At the
it.
Texas Star Party.
You did.
That was also very good. You see the Milky Way rising in the hills over in Texas. Dear Lord, it's beautiful. I think Okie-Tex is a little nicer. The facilities were nicer at the Texas Star Party.
Good save.
And I could see stuff further to the south, like the Centaurus A. Which is like an exploding galaxy. But, it seemed like a little darker in Oklahoma, even though the facilities were more rustic. They actually upgraded their facilities this year in Oklahoma, but no one can go.
Because of COVID?
Because of COVID.
Oh, for real?
But we're going to take a trip to elsewhere. For example, here we go. Do you know what this is an image from?
This is from... no.
No.
I don't.
Okay, well, this is an image.
But I believe you whatever you tell me.
Okay. Well, this is actually a series of images that is designed to show off the field of view for the TESS satellite, which is in orbit right now, on its mission to catalog as many of the stars in the sky as it can to see which ones have planets. It's like a follow-up to the Kepler mission. And this is a big thing for TESS because it's wrapped up its initial mission. It's a 2-year mission. It's got 75% of the sky mapped. And as you can see, the gaps are the other 25%, right? And I think there's a little bit around the edges too. But it's also discovered... Say more about this exploding galaxy. Oh, our chat's a little delayed. Centaurus A is called the Exploding Galaxy. If you're in the southern hemisphere or the southern part of the northern hemisphere, you can see it real nice in the summer in the constellation Centaurus or Kentaurus. It's also near a lot of other cool stuff in there, like the nearest star to us is pretty close to Alpha Centauri, Kentaurus, and yeah, like you can see with binoculars even, it stands out, but you see with a telescope and you see like, it's the galaxy you'll see, it's like, in pictures they've got like it looks like a regular kind of oval shape and then like a big explosion around it. I don't have a picture ready right now, but yeah, it's a great galaxy, and I got to see the Texas Star Party, and you can too if you're in the south. TESS, of course, probably imaged it and removed its data from its exoplanet hunt. But yeah, it's got about 66 confirmed planets right now, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's got 2,100 other planets that are candidate exoplanets. So they're not confirmed planets. I shouldn't have said objects, or they have a term for it, transient phenomena.
Oh, that's better.
It uses the light from it uses the light difference when something passes in front of it. We actually have a light bulb here for a demo later. But yeah, if you have a little, say a little something pass in front of the light dims. So TESS, like Kepler before it, measures that tiny little dip of light and to see if that's a planet or something in front of it. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just the stars having issues, like sunspots or ejecting gas, or it's just dimming on its own. But yeah, anyway, shouts out the TESS, 21 candidates, and it's going to find a lot more if its mission goes on, because the thing is Earth orbits the sun once a year. So if someone was looking at us, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so if someone was looking at our solar system, they'd see they'd only see the dip from Earth once a year. If they were going to look for Jupiter, they'd be lucky because it'd be like over a decade plus, one time. So the longer it can look at stuff, the more planets it's going to find, because it's looking for more time and wider orbits, basically, and a few lucky breaks.
Wow.
Anyway, I love the TESS mission. It's really cool.
You should know, we have a new setup where I have to stand, and it's making
you don't have
this
to stand.
a lot.
You can sit in the stool over there.
I have a seat. But then I'm actually going to be shorter than him. Shorter.
More comfortable, though.
Yeah.
We have a height difference. It's an issue.
Sorry for being late with my makeup, but I felt it was important to do it because of COVID. I've been losing practice, and I need to make sure I can still use my products.
Oh, louder. We both gotta talk louder.
I hope I look okay. I didn't put a lot of work into this at all, and which is really sad because I'm late for a look that I'm not fully committed to, and I have to live with that. Continue.
Okay. Well, so next up, over here, they have found some evidence that there was a big chain of supernova explosions 360 million years ago that went on for a while, like
Pixar
thousands
didn't
of millions.
happen.
Well, there's a rendering of our heliosphere, I think. Well, what they found are pictures from spectra of old fossils and stuff that seem to indicate a UV burning event. Ultraviolet light seemed to burn a bunch of fern spores around this time. And so they think a supernova that was 65 million light years away. 65 light years away. 65 million years of dinosaur extinction. So I guess that's why it's confused in my head. But yeah, so
You spend your time thinking about dead dinosaurs.
Of course. Never grown up.
That I can vouch for.
So
I really can.
360 million years ago, evidence of this big extinction event at the end of the Devonian era, they think might have been triggered by supernova or several near-ish Earth, closer than 65 light years away. So yeah, this really unlikely event. We don't have any candidates that close, so we're good for now. But apparently too, if they're all from the same, it's how could there be a chain of them if they're so rare? Apparently, a lot of times a supernova will trigger another supernova, especially if there are nearby stars, in a cluster or something like that. So it's almost like you see someone puke, and then you puke, and then the person trying to keep you from falling out of the car also pukes, and then you run into a light post on the reservation, and then you run real quick because you're scared that you're going to get caught by the cops. Theoretically.
He could have used so many other analogies, and that is the one that he picked.
It's just thinking of random stuff. Oh, so this picture, is it impressive or no?
Knowing the work that was put into it, yes, but looking at it right now, no.
Very charitable. Yeah, this kind of fuzzy image is actually interesting because it's one of the few images they've taken of planets orbiting another star.
Oh.
Yeah, the arrow's right there, actually. Bop, bop.
Because it looks kind of like a butthole. I thought it was the picture of the black hole.
I think the butthole effect is from when they put a little coronagraph to try and block out the star's light to get this picture.
If anyone's thinking about trying to copyright that word, the butthole effect, we'll know. Because I want to keep it for us. Because that's a good word.
I don't want it.
It's too late. It's ours.
I don't want the butthole effect.
I
No!
think we should keep the butthole effect.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't get a crass sponsor this week. By the way, I
Again,
went to that glory hole last week. That was not what was advertised. That was not a Christian thing at all.
Really?
No.
I'll try harder next time.
So, anyway, this was this was an astronomy picture of the day from a few days ago. Just go to apod.com or apod. I'll put the links up later. So look for the links in the description in a little bit. Oh yeah! Ryan's saying that this looks like a 90s metal hardcore album cover, and it totally does.
That is actually a really...
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
There's
like a new metal cover.
Oh yeah. But yeah, there's a few, like there's a history of science stuff being used as album art for sure.
I mean,
this falls in a wonderful tradition, especially like drone rock, like it's like an orange goblin. Well, orange goblin's gonna have like someone with a laser gun or something on it, but anyway. Tool maybe. It kind of looks like the Perfect Circle logo or the Eye of Sauron too, actually.
That's a really good reference.
Yeah. Okay.
I really like that color though.
It's a nice color. Oh, now. What is this? They found some brown dwarfs floating nearby. Those are like a weird in-between stage of like a star or a planet, and they kind of say, it's like a star that didn't quite finish its like fusion process. It's actually got a little bit of fusion going on, but it's not a lot. So it has an atmosphere with different other gases in it that stuff can hang out in. Anyway, citizen scientists or community science members, or however you want to phrase it, about 95 new brown dwarfs relatively close to the solar system were found. And this is actually not the intent of the project. This is called the Plan 9 Zooniverse project. And so these folks actually were looking for Planet 9, and we're like, oh, here's these other things moving around. Oh, those are brown dwarfs, okay. Well, not even quite moving around, but barely visible. So, yeah, 95 brown dwarfs. So at some point they might find a brown dwarf pretty close to our solar system, like closer than like the current record of Proxima Centauri, a red dwarf star. That's what I want. That's what I'm hoping for. Some extra closer stars.
Hopefully it'll be ours.
Ours?
Yeah, sun.
Interesting you mentioned the sun having something.
I just want 2020 to be over.
Where was that? Oh, I'm skipping ahead. But there is a report that some of the search for Planet 9 might be related to the weird way our solar system is laid out, might be related to a missing companion from our sun. Like they think that maybe as we formed, we had a binary star, like an extra sun. Not sure if it was bigger than our sun or smaller, probably smaller, maybe a dwarf star, but enough where it kind of knocked stuff around in the solar system's development. And I guess the big thing is they're wondering why we have such a thick like Oort cloud and Kuiper belt. There's a lot of stuff at the edge of our solar system that they don't know why it's there, like how that stays attracted to our sun. And they think that maybe like this other star kind of gathered stuff up at the edges more and then left. So leaving this extra junk behind that we get to sift through, including a possible extra planet or two at the edge of our solar system.
We really missed out.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see like 2 stars in the sky. That's probably why I really like 2010 so much. I saw it as a kid, and it was like the image at the end of just Jupiter lit up like a star next to ours, like burned in my brain. And the existential terror of knowing like the planet could become a star, which, but you know, great movie, a lot of fun. Anyway, what's our previous space news? Yeah, speaking of stuff in space, I have a good segue. The Hayabusa 2 craft is cleared for landing in Australia. It's a Japanese spacecraft from JAXA, and it went to a nearby asteroid, I think, was it Ryugu? And gathered a little bit of soil. It kept dropping probes all over it too. I think a lot of them are German in manufacture. So it was just like scooting up to an asteroid, literally like lobbing like several probes at it like it's a little Star Trek kind of thing. I just like the sheer number of things it was doing. It also like shot explosives or a gun or something at the asteroid to make a crater. Just to check out what the material looked like underneath. Color difference helps figure out what the age of it is.
That's what they were doing up there?
All kinds of stuff. Oh, you're suspicious.
Just seems like a lot's going on.
Yeah. Well,
Just saying.
I think the Japanese space agency feels competitive with NASA as far as exploring asteroids and comets. They actually kind of have a very competitive, if not better, track record than us.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It's kind of like, so Russia's
100%.
famous for big on Venus. We're
Yeah.
the Mars folks, US, and Japan is like the comet and asteroid folks too. This is the second mission with the name, by the way, and there was another sample return. So yeah, when it lands in Australia on December 6th, it's going to have some samples from this asteroid that it gathered up. It was doing a lot.
Wow.
So, pretty cool. Ooh. Ooh, the basket case twin dwarf sun, yes.
Oh, it's delayed on my phone a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry,
folks. Well, next time we'll try different chat settings and see how that helps.
And next time I'll get my makeup done ready, so...
It's start time. Who cares? We're having fun.
That's true. I hope you guys learned something.
Yeah. You can learn that there's another leak on the space station right now, and they're trying to frame it as, we're having a fun time at Grandma's house this weekend.
What kind of leak? Like air?
Air leaking
That's
out.
Funny.
So, they are spending time in the Russian segment. Over here in the Zvezda capsule. It's a Russian-built one, and they're sealing off all the rest. They're sealing the different hatches on all these little these little different chambers here, or modules. And they're just seeing, like, where's the leak? There's a little leak somewhere. It's not anything dangerous, but it's, like, annoying enough where it's like, we do have to kind of keep 6 months of supplies on hand at every time, and this drops our oxygen level down 5 months. So let's find it. So they're having a fun time just chilling and hanging out in an even more confined space than usual, which shouldn't sound familiar at all to anyone.
Isn't it interesting that the Russian side just seems to work okay, guys? You know what I'm talking about.
Man, there was already a conspiracy about that, about the previous leak, because there was a drill mark in the old caps, and they found in a Soyuz capsule that was docked.
You can't even escape 2020 in space.
I think you go to the Russian part, because their space stuff is way more reliable than us. It's cool, too.
Everything is falling apart. I should do Doomsday ASMR, where I just talk about all the bad things that are happening, but I do it in a really relaxing voice. You just fall into the void of the emptiness of your soul. You know it's bad, it's over.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, guys, now on to makeup. The palette I used today was Whatever from ColourPop. I put Bad Guy in the crease, which is a lovely plum, and then I did Ditching You in a lovely copper. My eyeliner, I'm just waiting for him to come back. I have nothing to offer for you guys. He just ditched me, so. Gloss Bomb from Fenty Beauty is what I'm wearing on my lips right now. And then lastly, my eyeliner from
Enjoy Plant.
Is this his way of telling me to shut up? He's
No.
silencing me, guys.
The plant brings beauty and joy to the world. This is a bromeliad.
Oh, because I went to a dark place. No, I'm fine now. I'll put more highlighter on my face. That makes
You know
me
what's
feel
fun
better.
now? is we will do a little bit of talking about some things you may see in the sky, because it's late August. School's hopefully not started back for you or your kids or whatever yet.
Yeah,
maybe you got a little bit of vacation time. Maybe you're on permanent vacation time. But that said, let's return to the Milky Way, which actually, wasn't that cute? So when you go out tonight and you're in a place that's lucky enough to have the Milky Way nicely visible, you can see it'll be kind of up in the south, coming up out of where Jupiter and Saturn are, and I'll show you that in a second. And it'll stretch all across the sky all the way to the north. It just stretches right across just the dome. It's one of the best times to see it. And if you don't see it right away, wait about 10-15 minutes. And don't look at your phone, because to see the Milky Way, you need to be able to see some more dimmer stuff. So
sometimes I get bored stargazing, and it takes a long time for him to adjust things with the telescope, so I do look at my phone. It's a pet peeve of his.
Try not to look at your phone, but you can set your phone screen to use a red color in your accessibility settings.
I won't do that.
But you can. Or you can at least dim it. At least dim your phone.
That's annoying. Also, I need to Instagram it so people know I'm having a good time.
Well, this is going to be interesting when we do some live shows, like out doing stargazing. Because that's going to happen.
Really? When?
Not for a while, because that requires some equipment I need to buy.
Oh, was that because also...
I have a telescope I need to adjust. I actually need to fix the tracking on. It was a free telescope! Oh, fix everything. It's very expensive.
There's also a global pandemic happening still. It's still happening. People are still dying.
Jesus Christ! So anyway, if you're outside looking for the Milky Way, you'll see a few weird lights probably, because you're going to be looking at stuff for a while. And you're going to see some stuff moving in the sky. So brief little tips on what you're seeing in the sky. It may be a UFO for sure, but anything is a UFO until you identify it. If you see a streak, real brief for like a second or two across the sky, and it's gone, it's a meteorite. Or meteor. So it's a meteor. That's kind of the key. It doesn't move slowly. Like, to me, slowly is like, it takes like a minute to get across the sky. If a meteor takes more than a couple seconds to get across the sky, it's close and it's big. So, go hunt it down if you're not dead from the explosion. You can see a couple of videos of people seeing a meteor actually coming in low in the day. There's one in Northern California multiple people got video of, and it looks awesome. But yeah, it's bright in the day. It looks like what you'd imagine a meteorite coming in would look like. You can even hear a boom as it goes through. But it takes longer than a couple seconds in that, because it's like a very fast rocket. However, 99.9% of the time you're just going to see a bright flash, and it may possibly be a lightning bug if they're out. So if it's green, probably a lightning bug. Now,
true story.
I'm not sure if I've actually managed to set this so it's visible, but if you see a light traveling across the sky, like here, and it's just kind of steadily going across, it might take 30 seconds, it might take a minute or so to go. I'm moving around too. There's no blinking light on it. It eventually kind of disappears. That's a satellite. It could be the space station, it could be junk, it could be one of the 40 million Starlink satellites. They're not 40 million, but there's many hundreds and going to be thousands. Yeah, and you'll usually see satellites.
Quite a bit, actually.
You'll see them a lot. And they do look weird, especially sometimes they'll look like they're moving parallel. I remember someone wrote in once to my day job saying, can you see two satellites look like they're getting closer together or pulling apart? Because I thought I saw that the other night. And it was like, if they're moving in relation to each other, that's really weird. But then I looked it up, and that was that was actually the SpaceX Dragon module, the day that it was actually docking with the space station. So, could have very well seen that. You can actually see it, and people will actually go ham figuring out how to get their telescopes tracking satellites to take pictures of them from the ground. And you can see, it's fun to look up people taking pictures of spy satellites especially. That's very fun. But yeah, so you see, sometimes it looks really eerie, sometimes it's low, sometimes it's very bright. If it's very bright, most likely it's a space station, and if it's it does like a thing where it flashes. Most of these are gone, but that used to be something called an Iridium Satellite. It was a global satellite phone network. And their antennae were really big and would catch the light when they would spin. So you'd see it like flare up and down. So it would become like brighter than Venus for like a couple seconds. So satellites will sometimes flare. So yeah. But they do look weird, and sometimes they cross paths in the sky. It's very strange looking. You'll see a train of them sometimes. I think there's a new launch probably this weekend or next. There we go. Like, if you see something like this, that's the SpaceX stuff getting launched fresh off the rocket. These are the Starlink internet satellites.
That's what they want you to think.
It's called a satellite train.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they threw in a few more satellites,
Satellite
I've noticed.
train.
Choo-choo. And I couldn't find anyone uploading a picture of airplane lights that I could use.
We argue about this a lot.
Well, so usually you can see it if it's an airplane. I just put up this is a bunch of lights that the airplanes use at night. You'll probably just see anti-collision lights blinking, I think. Sometimes other lights will light up now and again. So that's the that's an airplane. I mean, you almost always know, but sometimes you might not hear anything, and you might think, "Oh, I don't hear anything. What is that?" It's just too far away.
It's stalling and it's about to crash.
But sometimes you get it at a weird angle. Crash! Jesus Christ! But yeah. So if you look at it at a different angle, or something could be wrong with the light or whatever, you might not notice the blinking. Because we actually saw that the other night looking for meteors in the meteor shower. It's like, oh, satellite! Wait, it's blinking. So it just, the angle changed and we saw the lights. So ultimately a disappointing viewing there, but the meteor shower was quite nice. Hopefully you all got to see some in the last couple of weeks. Now. So that's the basics, like stars and stuff. Oh, and if some of this is rough, I apologize. I'm literally demoing some of my planetarium show I've got to do next week. So
I'm just here.
Speaking of, we're gonna fire up Stellarium. The problem is
Sounds like a drug. It's not, but
we're gonna fire up some Stellarium. It's virtual planetarium. It's planetarium software. Anyone can download it. So if you want to play around and learn the sky using this software, and it's available on like anything, like phones, desktops. It's free for most things. I think phone it charges a couple bucks. It's open source. There's a ton of plugins. Some actual planetariums use it now. But okay, it's loaded. My computer is getting older, and we might lag a bit, and for that I apologize. I'm going to switch over to Stellarium view. Here we are, in space.
no,
Look,
we're not.
it's the
There's
evening.
clearly like we're on Earth. There's like land right there.
Exactly. Yeah, we're facing the east actually, but it's sunset right now. This is actually the time and date. Like, this is what it looks like in Potsdam, New York. So, actually,
Oh, there's a Pegasus in the sky.
yeah,
That's nice. An Aquarius.
we're gonna get to that.
Are we?
But we're gonna
Ooh.
turn first. Oh, I was gonna do this moon demo where you take the moon and you take a light and you kind of show how phases work. But I'm not there. I just did it. Oh.
Ah, those are always fun.
You wanna do it?
We should do it because it's fun.
Can we do it after the show?
We may.
Okay, we'll do it after this. The moon right now is a thin little crescent. You'll see it in the west. And it's going to be traveling towards the east over the next few days and getting bigger. So, what's our first little hangout here? I want to go to, the first things you're actually going to see, which are Jupiter and Saturn. Boom. There they are. Aren't they beautiful?
They're okay, I guess.
Yeah. So you'll see Jupiter arrive first in the sky. It's the brightest. I think it's the brightest planet right now. Venus might be, but Venus is up in the morning. So you're looking at a star right away. Even maybe the sun is just set. That's actually Jupiter, almost certain. And next to it, just a little south of it, is Saturn. It's also very bright, and it'll show up a few minutes after you see Jupiter. Now, they're also really fun to look at with binoculars or a telescope, because they both have moons, and Saturn has rings that you can, of course, see. So, If you go in a little bit here, yeah, come on. There we go. There is a way, and I'm going to learn this, how to make this an actual planetarium show where I click on a remote and it just dives in.
That's actually kind of cute.
Yeah, so if you're looking at it right now, due to the settings in here, the moons are looking a little bigger than they would. They would be points of light. So yeah, if you had a telescope pointing at it, you would actually see Jupiter drifting across the field of view unless it's locked on. And if you look tonight, you're going to see all 4 of the moons. One on the right, that's Europa, the ice ball moon that might have life underneath. And it's liquid ocean, which is wild. Topic of 2010.
Space opus.
To the left is Ganymede, largest moon in the solar system, larger than Mercury, a planet in fact, also with oceans underneath, possibly. Io, possibly most volcanic thing in the solar system. Some may say Venus is. That is an argument that we're not having.
I think it's still Venus.
I like Venus a lot. It gets to have something. And then Callisto. It's about the size of our moon. I think it's a little bigger. And it's really heavily cratered, like our moon. And you can see this with binoculars. If you had recent LASIK eye surgery, you may be able to see this with your bare eyes. There's a weird phenomenon called supervision that happens with LASIK.
He had that for a minute.
It was awesome. I felt like the supreme astronomer super being of ruled.
I won't do it because I'm afraid my eyes will fall out.
Young kids can also see. They have like super.
Oh my God! See, for a second I thought
my kids' eyes are falling out. The eyes are falling out everywhere
because of me just jumping on the downer train. Sorry, guys.
Oh, oops! I think I lost Saturn. I thought I could just move to the left. It's a little further away. All right. So what's Saturn looking like tonight?
A ball with a ring around it.
Yeah.
It never changes, guys.
It changes a lot, actually. Well, the tilt of the rings will change.
I guess.
Yeah, you know. And you can see a lot of moons around Saturn. So both of these worlds have a ton of other moons. But the one if you're using binoculars, you can see all 4 of the main moons of Jupiter. The big moons of Jupiter, the Galilean moons, I like to call them that. You'll probably see Titan off to the side of Saturn here with binoculars. It's also almost as big as Ganymede, bigger than our moon, and also another moon bigger than a planet, Mercury. And they're both bigger than Pluto, planet or not. Titan also has a thicker atmosphere than Earth. And they're going to send a helicopter to it, I believe.
Great.
I think it's a little quadcopter or octocopter.
Just send a helicopter. That sounds great.
I'm just going to check it out, see if it's got like life or other weird stuff on it.
Probably won't.
It's got oceans. Like just the whole water cycle. I love Titan, but yeah, if I start talking about the moons too much, I'll just go off, so we're going to skip ahead. That's a whole other episode. But yeah, these are really fascinating worlds, and with Saturn, you might be looking... You've seen Jupiter, you see the moons lined up real nice. With Saturn, you notice they're kind of scattered. That's because, notice how the ring is? See how it's tilted? So that's actually the orbit of stuff around Saturn, right? So, the moons are also... If you draw spokes out from these rings, you'll notice that these moons are all following the spoke lines. So we're just seeing it at like a different weird angle.
It's very
kind
trippy
of
to see it in this digital way. It's nice. I like it.
Cool. This is fun. I gotta learn some shortcuts. I had them down for a second, then we switched the format of the show. So bringing this back is kind of funny. I originally started doing the show because I needed to learn how to do planetarium shows, so I've been slacking.
I joined in because I had nothing to do because of COVID.
Okay.
And now I hang out here. I still do it.
Ooh, so would you like to see where Mars is?
It's up there.
It is not up there. It's over there right now.
But in the sky. So
it's in the sky.
Up there.
But if you look up, you're not going to see it.
Okay.
I hate to say, but... I don't mean to be particular. Sorry for giving you crap.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, let's skip ahead a couple hours.
I'm being difficult.
So just wait. That's what I mean. You see, it's right over the horizon right now. So Mars is looking pretty good, and it's getting brighter every night. Earth and Mars are getting closer together in their orbits. I think we're catching up to it. That's why we launched a bunch of stuff to Mars last month. we're in the launch window when we're getting close together. So those spacecraft are kind of taking advantage of the Earth just swinging by. It's like someone grabbing on the end of a car on a skateboard and then switching over. Not getting horribly almost killed like my cousin did years ago. He was in a coma. Don't do the skateboard thing from Back to the Future, kids. But do use a similar effect to get to Mars quicker. It's going to be like super bright mid-October. And that's when it's closest. It's about 38.6 million miles away, which makes it closer than Venus. Almost, not on average, but usually Venus is a little closer, so good going, Mars. So that's it. It's called Mars opposition. People get real excited when that happens at closest approach. Well, opposition and closest approach might be off by a day or two due to complicated bullshit. I'll do that in a later episode.
Called complicated bullshit.
Mars is complicated bullshit. Mars is actually the planet that messed with people the most doing ancient astronomy. Because it's close to us, but also it's outside of us. Like, Mercury and Venus were obviously near the sun. And they move near the sun. And most of the outer planets don't move very fast. Like, you look where Jupiter is every night, it's going to be near Sagittarius. It was near Sagittarius last year, because the orbit is very, very long. But Mars is like a 2-year orbit, and because of the weird way we're so close to each other on the racetrack of the solar system, like Mars will just like dance around the sky. Like it moves around real fast, and it like seems to go forward and loop back. So Mars gave people a lot of trouble trying to figure stuff out.
Wow, way to go, Mars.
Yeah, Mars is great, dude.
It's also a highlighter color for milk makeup. True. It's really nice.
So anyway, do you know there's another planet you can see?
Earth.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's if any astronomer asks you, is there another planet you can see when they're doing this kind of shit? The answer is the goddamn Earth. Fuck you. Don't tell them fuck you. They're being cute.
That's a full name, actually, of Earth is goddamn Earth. Fuck you. It's the name of our planet.
Ooh.
He said a bad word.
I was wondering if Venus was going to be visible in the morning, and it's not looking too promising.
Is there a star called Boots?
Bo Oats.
That's
yes.
Boots. That's Boots.
I like saying booties.
That's Boots.
That's Boots. So, Venus was rising in the morning, but I guess it's already set. I've got to catch up on my Venus. I feel bad. So we'll return back to, let's say, 9:20. So you're going out. You're going to take a look. So Mars has just come up if you've got a clear shot at the east. Let's look up here. Let's turn on some crap. Hi, we're learning how to use Stellarium again. We want to turn on markings, and we want to turn on... Oh wait, do we want marking? Do we want... This is very fun, isn't it, folks? Star lore! We want to show the constellation lines, and we want to show asterism lines. Boom. Thank you.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you look straight up, you're not going to see the lines, but you're going to see Deneb, Vega, and Altair together. So those are form the northern triangle, and this is actually a asterism.
That looks really weird.
Each of those other star groups here, like where Deneb, Vega, and Altair are, they're the brightest in each of their constellations. So asterisms are like a nickname given to a group of stars, and a constellation is the official, stodgy, historical name. But a lot of times the asterism is easier for people to remember. So you were looking at Boots earlier, right?
Mm-hmm. Because that is a really bad name for a star.
Do you know how to find it? There's a trick.
It's up there.
Well, it's up there, yes.
Why do I want to see Boots?
Well,
what's so special about it, aside from the fact that it has a bad name?
It has Arcturus, which is a fun one, but you can see here Ursa Major, which is this greater group of lines that contains the Big Dipper. And with the Big Dipper, there's a trick where you basically follow the arc of the tail of the bear to Arcturus, arc to Arcturus. And then you've seen one constellation, Ursa Major. Once you get to Arcturus, boom! You see two constellations. And then, check this out, We're gonna go back just a hair. Oh wait, I don't think we can. Nah, it's daylight. Sorry, you spike on to spike up, but it is already set in Virgo. Yes, that Virgo. So, but here's
Virgo's
another way to
famous.
do it. See these two stars here? They're called the pointer stars. You know where they point to?
No.
The North Star, right up there.
Well, damn.
Polaris, which is in the Little Dipper or Ursa Minor. And in this case, I think they're the same.
Isn't that the name of a band?
Polaris?
Yes.
That's the Pete and Pete band. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you want to know where north is, you can follow Ursa Major to Polaris, the end of the ladle of the Dipper. Now, if you can't see the bear for some reason, but you might see what looks like a 3 or an M or an E or a W, Cassiopeia. It's another very bright group of stars, opposite end of it, and it'll kind of generally point its way towards the Big Dipper as well. I wish I remember. Does this show? I don't have the shortcuts for it yet. Sorry. Yep. Now, next to the Cassiopeia, you'll see here is Andromeda, this group of stars. And in between Cassiopeia and Andromeda is the Andromeda Galaxy. That's the famous galaxy. If you see a picture of a galaxy, it's the one. I'll zoom in. Oh, I have a boom. And now, if you have any light pollution, you can't see it naked eye, but if you can see the Milky Way from where you are, you can see this with your naked eye, too. You just have to look, almost not be looking for it, and it'll pop out in the corner of your vision like a ghost, using your averted vision or black and white part of your eyes. It's more sensitive to light. I've seen it. Like, I didn't think it was really possible, and then I got out of the car in Tonopah once, and it was just there. And I, like, yelped, because I'm a big dork. But it was cool looking. So, and you can see it with binoculars if you can't see it with the naked eyes. And binoculars are a wide enough field of view. You can just scan between Cassiopeia and Andromeda. And if you don't really... I have a hard time myself recognizing Andromeda distinctly other than the group of stars that are opposite on the other side of Cassiopeia that aren't the Big Dipper. It's kind of how I do it. But yeah. And also... below Cassiopeia, since you're going to be looking around, you're going to see something else that you're going to think, what the heck is that? And, oh, that's cool. You're going to see this. And it's this cluster of stars right through here. And it's beautiful in binoculars. Actually, Andromeda and the double cluster, I recommend looking at them with binoculars and not a telescope. I think they're great. And you'll see this as like a fuzzy spot when you're looking for stuff with your naked eye. You could even, I've seen it as a fuzzy spot from the city. So it's brighter than Andromeda Galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
I could barely see it. Some other thing.
Yeah. Your mileage may vary. It's a very visual medium, so.
Yeah. You
know. People say they see a galaxy in Triangulum really easily right here, which is outside of Triangulum. I can't see it easily myself, so, you know. Your mileage definitely may vary. I'll be like, oh, I see it right now! And I'm like, no, very faint. But next to Andromeda, boom. So we talked about asterisms. There's Pegasus. It's linked with Andromeda. I forget if Andromeda's supposed to be riding Pegasus or something. But right here is the great square of Pegasus. So if you're looking in the east at 9:30 and right above Mars, boom, there's the great square of Pegasus. And you know what? That's an asterism, but it's also, I like to call it the fall square because there's a summer triangle and there's also a winter hexagon. But just so we can review what we did. Oh, and then if you continue back over, you see very faint constellations, Aquarius and Capricornus. Boom. Then Saturn and Jupiter. So that's kind of like your little, we just whipped around a bit. So yeah. But one more thing. I just want to kind of go through and show you all this again without the lines on. Oh, yeah, I'll show the labels still, but let's get rid of the lines. So yeah, So this is actually what it would look like. So Cassiopeia is right here, over there. Wait a minute. Yeah. Cassiopeia right there. Oh yeah, Casterism is like an all-star team from... Oh wow! From Bob Ramsey. Hey man! He's absolutely correct. Asterism is like the most valued player stars. So anyway, this is what you're going to see at night. Minus the letters, of course. But yeah, you got Cassiopeia here. You got the... I think you saw some of my misspelled notes earlier. I feel very bashful now. It actually accidentally got shared in the screen share. I typed them up an hour ahead of time. So anyway,
You're in trouble.
Cassiopeia. Let's start from the Dipper, eh? Boom. You got the Big Dipper, aka sort of Ursa Major. The asterism of the Big Dipper in Ursa Major. Boom. Ursa Minor. North Star. See the two stars here? Over to there. Keep following it kind of over, and there's Cassiopeia, that weird little 3. Go over a bit more. You got this lineup of stars here. It's Andromeda. They're linked in with Pegasus. See, Andromeda's right in Pegasus. Cassiopeia's doing her thing. And then you go back over here. Saturn and Jupiter. And then what's that up above them? Altair. Why, that's in the Eagle, which is in the Milky Way, runs through this whole area, which is the summer triangle of Deneb, Vega, and Altair. And you look around here some more, and there's a few other fun little constellations. Hercules is up here and a little harder to see. There's a keystone here. Speaking of asterisms, it's called the keystone, which is off of the edge of the triangle. And actually, I do like this part here. Corona Borealis, or the Northern Crown.
Corona.
Yep. Corona, I know. Well, yeah.
Again, he's being a downer.
It's
not me this time.
Crown virus, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so this is supposed to be a crown, and then over here, Arcturus, which you arced to from the Big Dipper. So there you go, Ursa Major. So that's it for now. And anyway, we're gonna switch back over, and I think we're mostly done. Yeah. So there we go. There's a little tour. Now your eyes are adjusted, and you can now see the Milky Way if you're in a dark environment. Unless you were looking at the screen, in which case your eyes are not adjusted.
Yeah.
Also, I'm getting a warning about buffer size, and then it goes back to being healthy, so hopefully it's okay. My old computer's going to struggle if I don't close Stellarium 1 second. Okay. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for suffering through a very rough draft of something I'm going to tell a bunch of children later on next week. And also, just thanks for joining us. This is our 14th episode of Story Time.
Is it really?
It very much is.
That's crazy that we've consistently done that many times.
Every Friday at 8. We might change the time later to see. Maybe not. But for now, and we're going to have a guest next week. We're going to have Mel. She was on Jasmine's show several weeks ago.
She's great.
Mel's great. And Mel will be discussing the New York Times, more New York Times revelations about the fun unmanned, or the fun UFOs. What are they? What does the Navy know? It's going to be fun. I'm going to have a blast. I love talking about weird stuff.
Me
and
too.
That's, of course, next Friday at 8. And if you want to check out Mel ahead of time, you can check out our archives on YouTube and under Stupid Brunch Show. She actually gave some advice about baby witches, how to help them, and how to help them not curse the sun or hex the moon.
They were hexing the moon that they gave up already.
Yeah, so if that interests you at all, check out Stupid Brunch Show. And what's your lineup? When is it this weekend, and who's going to be on?
It's going to be my friend Jackie. We work together at Whole Foods.
Very cool. What are you going to talk about?
Probably Whole Foods.
Cool.
Or she's actually a graphic designer and does a lot of great work. She designed the Twinnings boxes, the tin ones that you see. I believe she designed those. I could be wrong.
The tea boxes?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And when will this be?
This is going to be this Sunday at like 2 p.m. like Eastern.
2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific
time.
And
She's also a brilliant cosplayer, I believe.
Is she going to dress up as something?
Probably not.
Can I dress up as Captain Harlock?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you again, and we're back next week with some more fun stuff. And yeah, check out the stars and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Thank you. And you have everyone have a wonderful night.
Thank you.